Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. This is Funmibi here again with a new tutorial. In today's video, we're going to be working on recreating this gorgeous stem-like design on the neckline of this beautiful dress on Vicky James. I saw this design on our outfit for Sharon Oja's wedding the other day, and I figured that this would be something that some of my subscribers will be interested in learning about. If you'll be interested in knowing all about this video, please make sure you watch this video all the way through. Make sure not to skip any part. Like the video, subscribe, share, and leave me your sweet comments down in the comment section. Alright guys, let's get straight into today's video. Let's go. I'm working with this damask fabric. I believe I've shared a tutorial on how I reinforced this damask fabric. So this damask is reinforced. It's not flimsy like your typical damask. I reinforced it. If you've not seen that video, I'll leave it somewhere on the show notes. Please go check it out. It will help you know how to reinforce something like this and create something similar to this. You'll also be using copper wire, and I have this my copper wire right here. It's the size 0. Okay, it's upside down. It's the size 0.71 millimeters copper wire, and I also have my Cupchain right here as well, the iridescent gold type of Cupchain. And I have things like my thread snipper, my gas lighter, and my scissors, and my plier right here. These are all the items I will be working with for the sake of today's video. Guys, please pay attention. Do not skip any part of this video. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, share this video with a friend. Feel free to drop your questions down in the comment section, and let's get started. All right, guys, so starting off with the 3D applique, I'm just going to roll out a little quantity, well, not so little, about, let me get my measuring tape and give you guys the exact measurements. So you want your copper wire now. I'm working with my copper wire just in case you are curious. So when trying to create something like your 3D applique, I would suggest that you roll out a quantity of copper wire that after like creating the shape you want to create with your copper wire, you still have like a little stem situation going on. It's that stem that will help you arrange your 3D applique in a beautiful way. That's how I find that, you know, working with copper wire, that's what is easy for me. But ultimately, like I always say, my tutorial is not the end all be all. Please ultimately do things that are easy for you, things that work for you. So I need a quantity of copper wire that is about between 8 and 9 inches long. So once I have that, or I think I should even reduce it to about 7 inches. I feel like that quantity is a bit too much. Copper wire is not cheap. I don't think I want to do 6 inches. 6 inches is fine. So I'm going to cut out about 3 of these, just so this tutorial gives what it's supposed to give. So 3 pieces of copper wire that are about 6 inches long. Like I always say, do what works for you. If 6 inches is too much for you, reduce it. If it's too little, increase it. Just do the needful. And I'm using this my little plier to just cut the copper wire. I found that when you use your scissors to cut the copper wire, it makes your scissors go blunt faster. So get a plier. I've talked about items required for items that make my life easy as a craft maker. I have a video just detailing all the necessary things that I think you should get if you are trying to do work similar to what I do. Go check out that video. I'll link it on the screen for you. It will be very valuable to you. So now that I have these 3, depending on the shape I'm going for, I would kind of shape them into that shape. I've said shape a lot, but I hope we are following. So as we can see on the dress on Vicky James, the dress is shaped into, or the 3D appliques now are shaped into like a leaf pattern. So I'm going to just also follow suit and create like a leaf situation with this my 3D, or with this my copper wire. Now that I'm working with this, I see that 6 inches is a little too small. So guys, I would recommend about 8 inches because this my stem is too small. Can you see the little stem situation that we have here? So if you want something longer, please increase the quantity of, or the length of copper wire that you're working with. So now that I have something like this, I'm just going to shape these remaining 2 wires into this leaf shape. Like I always say, or like I've said in a previous video, leaf shape is not the only shape that you can shape your copper wire into. You can craft your copper wire into any shape of your choice, so feel free to just go off. But because we are working with something, right? We are trying to recreate something. That's why I felt the need to just create this leaf shape. So I'm just going to do this for this remaining 2. Now that I've done these 3, I'm going to do one more, and you guys are going to see how that one more comes into play. So this is the 4th one. After doing this, I'm just going to go ahead and use my fabric glue, the E7000 glue. I'm going to apply glue all over the rim of these my shapes that I've cut out, and then just place them onto this organza fabric. And I'm going to do that real quick. Alright guys, so I'm just going to set this aside, allow it dry down very well. But as you can see, I have 4 here. If you want to do 100 of this, do. If you want to do 1,000 of this, right, like just go off and do as many as you need to. And I'm just going to set this aside and then move on to the next one. I've done this in a previous video, but because again the numbers have grown since the last time I did this, I'm going to do this on here again. So I have just my regular schmegular copper wire that I folded into this leaf shape. The next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab my Cupchain and basically figure out the quantity that I need for this copper wire. Please stay with me, let's not get distracted. And then come to this other side again, figure out the quantity of copper wire that I need. Once I have it, I'll just pick this up and cut like so. Then I'm going to grab my glue, of course, and then apply this all over. Place this on top of it. Repeat what I did here on this other side. Apply my glue. Then place my copper wire, my Cupchain on top. Can you see what we have here? Amazing. So I'm just going to set this aside as usual and allow it to dry down very, very well. And remember to always cover up your fabric glue. I know someone might come and say, oh, can I use hot glue for this? I do not recommend using hot glue for this. I recommend using this type of glue, E7000 or one of these as well. I have some other ones here, B7000, B6000 or E8000. Glues that look like this basically. Those are the types of glues I would recommend for this. But if you decide that, okay, it's hot glue that is going to rock your boat, please go off and do that. Like I always say, take whatever I tell you with a pinch of salt. Do what you're comfortable with ultimately. So now I feel like I've left this for a while, so I just want to basically trim off the excess fabric along the edges. Another thing you can also follow this up with, if you were trying to maybe like create a beaded 3D applique, before cutting off all this excess fabric around, you can go ahead and bead. as your fabric or your stuff was attached to your fabric, you can just bead in between if that's what you're going for. But because all we are trying to achieve is just a 3D applique, can we see what we have here? And this is what the back looks like. Like I said, I have a video on how I reinforced this fabric to create this. For those that are new here and are interested in a beginner-friendly tutorial, you will find that video very, very valuable. As a further step, I like to just take my gas lighter and just basically seal up the edge of my work, and this is what we have right here. I'm going to go ahead now and repeat what I did here for every other thing here before we now come back to this other work that we're doing earlier on. If you've been enjoying this video so far, please comment glitter. Okay, glitter is the comment for the day. Let me know how you guys feel about this video, if you're enjoying it. If you have someone that would like this type of video as well, please hit the share button and support this video. Don't be afraid to also use the super thanks button. It helps me greatly, and I always appreciate receiving a token from you guys. It's not compulsory, so don't feel pressured. Alright guys, so this is what we have here with all these our leaves. Like I said earlier, I'm going to repeat it again. You can do as many of these as you want and set them aside. So we're going to come back to this particular copper wire. To take this copper wire from looking basic to looking amazing, what you need is a very thin size of wire. And for this, I'm going to be working with the 0.50 millimeters copper wire, like what I have here. Okay, if you have the 0.30 or 0.315 size of copper wire, feel free to use it. But because it's the 0.50 I have, I'm just going to make do with what I have. And you're going to roll out whatever quantity it is that you think is going to do for you. And then all you're doing is you're basically attaching this to this. You need to be very careful, guys. This is not something you can do, but you need to be, careful. Can you see what I'm doing? I wish I could zoom in further. Okay, I can actually. So you're just wrapping this around the work you've done previously, like so. I think I'm happy with what I have now, so I'm just going to cut this off. So say something like this. If I were to have used the 0.315 size of copper wire, it would have been finer than this. Absolutely amazing. So imagine now coupling all of these together. And with coupling them together, you're just twisting their stems together like so, something like this. There's already one like this. Then you can come here again, add another one again, twist. The beauty of having copper wire is to attach them to each other. You are just twisting them. If you need help, you can incorporate your what's it called, plier to it. So we have something like this. We've also worked on this net one. I believe that tutorial is on the channel already, how to use nets to create 3D appliques. You can just stack them on each other in a very aesthetically pleasing way. Imagine placing this on an outfit and just layering it on each other. And I've shared a different video where I showed how you can sew 3D appliques with this type of stem onto fabric. I'll do my best to link that video on the screen. I hope it's already on the channel. So that's basically it, guys, for the 3D applique portion of this video. Incredibly amazing. And with, like I always say, with 3D appliques, because of the copper wire inside, you can, basically the wire allows for flexibility. Like you can just move this around and shape it into whatever you choose. Anyhow, guys, like I always say, there's no limits to how creative you can get with this stuff. Like amazing stuff. Can we see what we have here? Tell me this does not look amazing. Just arrange it on your outfits, layer them on each other. Maybe it's be coming down like this on each other, like so. Something like this on on a piece of outfit. Amazing.
Alright friends, so after creating the 3D applique just the way you want it, however you want it, and when I say however you want it, I mean any shape you like. It could be a leaf, it could be heart shapes, it could be circular, whatever shape you want. And I've taught us multiple times how to create 3D appliques for different types of, things that we're trying to create. The next step now is to now create that stem-like thing. And for the stem-like thing, for me, I believe there are two ways to go about it. You can create your 3D appliques and then glue them onto your stem basically, or twist them around something that looks like a stem. And for that stem, what I typically would do is to get my copper wire. You want a very strong copper wire, so maybe the 0.71 millimeters copper wire or the 0.90 type of copper wire. The next thing you're going to do is to now start twisting the stem of your 3D applique around the copper wire. For me in this video, I'm using a ribbon first of all to cover up the copper wire, just to give it some vibe of some sort. It's not compulsory. After that, I will now start to stick the appliques that I've created onto this stem that I have going on here. For me personally, I don't really like this sticking on technique to it because I feel like the glue can fail and then the appliques will start falling off and it will just become a hot mess. The most secure way of creating this type of design is to twist the stem of your 3D applique around this stem that you're creating using your very strong copper wire. I wish I could illustrate it in this video, but for some reasons beyond my power, I could not illustrate it, but I hope we all understand. You are taking the stem of the 3D applique that you created and you're twisting it around this stem. And for the stem that you're creating, for the neckline that you're working on, you can make it as long as you want. You want to first of all create a length that can go around your neck and create whatever style you want. You don't have to create your stem in such a way that it sits on your neck the way it sat on Vicky's neck, except that's what you're going for. You can create it to just be on your neck, be from the back of your neck to the front of your neck, however you want it. So make sure that the length of the strong copper wire that you're cutting is able to go across your neck, and after that you start to now twist those your 3D appliques that I have created around the copper wire. I'm going to keep quiet now and allow you guys just see what I'm doing on here on the screen, and I hope just from this explanation that I did for you guys, a lot of us understand what I'm talking about. If you still have questions about this particular tutorial, feel free to drop it in the comment section. Like this video if you enjoyed watching, if you learned something. Subscribe to this channel if you're yet to subscribe. We're on our way to 70K and we can't wait to get there. It's so exciting and so beautiful on here. And for the next couple, in this near future, right, we'll be getting more and more videos. I've been away for a long time, just busy with life, and I can't wait to just come back here and start to push out loads and loads of tutorials for you guys. So hope you are ready. A lot of things are coming up really soon on the channel, and I'm so excited for you all to get to, discover some of these things. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video.
The deed is done, and this is what we have here. What I did was I just simply went ahead to stick on those 3D appliques on the copper wire, and voila guys, you can even use this on a dress, right? You can create a stem like this, put your appliques all over it and tack this stem like this on the dress and make it like a design. You guys, there's no limits to how creative we can get with this thing. I hope this video was very useful to you guys. It was a very short and straight to the point one. Please remember to like the video no matter what, even if it's short that you watch. Please like. If there's ad on the video too, please watch the ads. That's how I get support on this journey, okay? It's always very rewarding to see that what you're doing is kind of bringing in income and helping you out, okay? So your way of helping me is by watching the ads on my videos, subscribing if you're not subscribed, sharing my videos with your friends and family, and liking as well. Liking is very important. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy. I can't wait to see you in another one. Bye.